Part 2. This is the dogma handed to me by the hand of hero monk Abbot Herman, then of the monastery in Platina, California. While I stayed in residence, mutual observation as a penitent man back in 1998, the first weeks of my son's birth, after his birth rather, as I was living in the state of vocational understudy with a fall-away old Catholic priest, non-canonical, in Utica, New York, but had approval by Bishop Antonios of Quincy, Massachusetts, and who understood. He had his own monastery, I believe, in Melrose, Massachusetts, schema monk, bishop, and his father, Deacon Joseph, his underling and assistant. Here is my ability to function as understood in the canonical precepts of prayer given to me, understanding from St. Sergius and Herman Sergius, New York, Philip McCaffrey, secular priest, lineage of Platina, California, professes to have lineage to Balaam, Holy Russia. Spruce Island, Alaska is their intermediary through the lineage of St. Herman of Alaska, true holy Russian Orthodox first monk, priest to enter the American territories in the early 1700s. I'm burning incense with liturgical charcoal, that is myrrh. I'm hoping for intercession through the prayers of my patron, handed to me by schema monk. Well, he's not a schema. Is he a schema monk? Monk Pisces. I don't know if he was prefect at the time of Platina, California, St. Herman of Alaska Monastery. Father Gerasim, who was my assistant to give me back my son, basically, as I cried my eyes out and let him know I had a son that I can't leave behind, who was only an infant at the time, while I was in mutual observation as a potential for monastic orders as a brother. So there's Michael, my patron, Elder of Olam, mystic, Romanovs, particularly at my house that I have desecrated it with my sin, but I've given my commitment to my life, my son, to St. Nicholas and his son Alexei, rather. And this was from before my son was born, or at the time he was born, back in 1998. So this was quite some time that I've been holding on and just waiting to figure out who was going to, I've been in sin and I can't stop. I have concupiscence and corporal need, which has been frivolous and neglectful in the United States of America for more than 20 years of my existence, to not father or husband, even though I have one child, acknowledged paternity legal, raised him 14 years, continued to have ongoing relationship, and still am not accessible to him because of his denial of my fatherhood and patronage as his spiritual guide, biological paternity, and identity and form in which I raised him, as he refuses me utterly in the confusion of his territory, which has given him nothing but drugs, homosexuality, and dispassion for anything natural and accountable on legal plane as well as social involvement, since he became 14 years old and left my custody and met his mother, who he did not know well and who has tortured him beyond recognition, as far as I understand his soul, which is sick, as he's dying of cancer and other issues, and refuses to understand or concern himself with his nature through my lineage and paternity, as he spit on me and my father, who I've only recently met at 45 years old, while he was dying in his 70s, late 60s, early 70s. And he wanted to reach out to me before he went, and he wanted to know my son, and my son refused us utterly as a lineage. I can't disown my son, but he has in fact been blinded to the point that he may not be able to return. And I pray for God to save him before he expires and I have to watch his demise and his existential cruelty that he holds disdain for all things accountable and holy in the lineage of the paternity that I've offered him. I am actually his godfather in the Catholic capacity for his confirmation and communion that was conducted in Utica, New York by he's no saint, by a secular man named Joseph on the Diocese of Albany years ago when my son was attending at the Catholic school at that time. Since then, my son's refused the faith utterly and has fallen away to the point of satanic damnation. As much as I can, I'm trying to retain any kind of concern and semblance for hope, as my heart will not allow me physically to forget what I need to do in order to solve and see salvation potential and full expression of faith as a holy man, and which is a sinner trying to find Christ again. Christ calls, I just answered him again. That's it. This date, May 30th, 2018, 10:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, USA. Patriarch Cyril, pray for me. Save us. Save me. Give me some kind of guidance. I have nobody to trust in spiritual direction as is, and have had anyone to side with me or direct me or guide me outside of the short time I stayed in Platina, California, St. Herman of Alaska Monastery, who offered me an opportunity but have been out of correspondence with me and have nothing to do with me at this time through my failing.